Grab a cup of joe, buckle up, and let's embark on a journey of self-discovery, creativity, and entrepreneurship. Let's get rolling.
Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back to Rhythm of the Road podcast. And I know at this point, whenever you're listening to this, whether it is legitimately January 3rd when this episode launched or sometime during the year, I'm sure you're sick of already hearing Happy New Year or the new year, new me. I'm the best version. I'm going to change everything. I'm going to do everything different. All those kinds of things. Well, we all know that that's really not going to work unless you've already put in all of the work and you're just continuing what that's going to be like for the next 362 days. So what am I even talking about? Well, everybody gets up on this high, like I need to change my life on January 1st because the calendar rolls over and says that it's now a new calendar year because the year switched and we're going to write the date wrong for the next, 15 to 25 days because we're so used to writing it the other way, unless you legitimately don't write things and write dates anymore. But I know on a regular basis, I'm signing my name and signing the date. So it's going to take me a minute to switch that over for sure. But so often we're stuck in this, like, because it's the new year, I need to be a new version of myself. Well, first and foremost, you can be a new version of yourself tomorrow. And then the next day, you can be another new version of yourself. So first, you don't have to just wait till January 1st every year to start something new and be a new version of you and whatever that means. And instead of saying like new year, new me, maybe it's like new year, new ideas. What are the new ideas you have? What are some things that you want to think about and investigate and research and discover and attempt to put things into action that might make change? And sometimes it doesn't even have to be the thing that you thought it was going to be. In fact, most often it's not going to. Spoiler alert, the plan that you start with is not the one that's going to get you there, wherever there is for you. And so if your goal is just to start a new version with some new ideas of you this year in 2025, as we record this podcast, awesome. I'm excited for you. I will be a champion for you. In fact, send me a note down below. Let me know what you're going to do, or send me a message or send me a DM and let's figure it out together. I'll be your accountability partner. And if I have 1,000 of you that reach out to me that want to be accountability partners, well, I got some work cut out for me, but I don't think that's going to be the case because we already have a hard enough time showing up to do the things we said we're going to do during a normal week. And now we're going to start all these new things. So I posted a question in my group this week and I just literally said, what's one thing you're going to do to just improve your week this week? So what if these new ideas that you have for the new year are just, what's something I can improve on? And maybe think of just small little chunks. What is manageable, right? We've all heard the cliche phrase, how do you eat an elephant? Well, one bite at a time, of course, right? And how do we tackle whatever the big goal or what we think of as success or the journey we think we're on? How do we accomplish that? We have to take the first step and then we have to take the second step. So it's one step at a time, right? And if you want to go back to the old days before we had all these fancy lights and all these cool things, and I can have all these LEDs in here, and we got lights everywhere we go, and we got lights on our phone, and we got all these things that illuminate everything around us for, in some cases, miles, right? If you're a lighthouse, like you have a beam that reaches for miles. But it used to be that you only could see about a step and a half or two in front of you because all you had was a lantern that was lit with a candle and not real great reflective glass. In fact, it was probably pretty dirty or dusty or dingy or burnt with soot because the candle burnt the inside of the glass. And so it was muted to begin with. So you could maybe see a foot or two in front of you. And then you could see the next foot or two in front of you as you took more steps. So think about this new year like that. What is just the new next step I need to take? What's that one or two steps I can take today that can improve my week? And then at the end of the week, if I want to do something different or I want to change what those steps are, I can change and pivot a little quicker and a little easier because I only have to look 1 or 2 steps ahead of me. If I'm looking 3 or 4 miles ahead of me, when I switch, boy, that pendulum switch way out there, like that feels like a really big swing. But when we do it real close in, it doesn't feel like that big of a swing to change where we're headed. So think about that. Are you working on your day? Are you working on your week? Are you working on your month? I try to think of my life in 3 to 6 month chunks. And what am I working on? And I feel like if I'm doing it right as I'm coming into the end of the year here and I feel just pretty overwhelmed, then I feel like I'm doing it the right way. And what does that mean? Feeling overwhelmed is doing it the right way? No, because if you constantly have this circle coming back and you're constantly planning that 3 to 6 to 9 months ahead of time, then you're always having an opportunity of those new things to come along the way. Yet you planned 6 months ago for what the right now is. And you couldn't have envisioned what that was until you got here. And at that point, you're already putting new things into place. So if you're feeling that grind or that just overwhelming feeling, and you're really having to put in extra time or extra effort when you kind of get to the end of that cycle as the wheel comes back around, then you're doing it the right way. You should be tired, you should be exhausted, but you're going to feel that moment of relief as soon as those new things are the only things, and you're planning for that next 6 months, and you're planning for that next time that wheel or that cycle comes back. Just think about that. We plan 3 to 6 months ahead of time. We work that plan. And because we work that plan, things happened and showed up, and opportunities came in that you couldn't even have planned for. But because you were doing those things, they started to work, and then they compounded, and then new things came in. And you're like, yes, that makes sense. And I'm going to transition. I'm going to pivot. But I still have all those responsibilities of the things that I put together 3 to 6 months ago. Okay, we're going to finish those and start with these new ones and plan that's 3 to 6 months. So you can live your life in a quarter or a half a year at a time rather than saying January 1st, I'm already planning for mid-December. I'm not sure that's really realistic. I think you can make some projections and have some thoughts and put some goals around it, but give yourself the ability to pivot and change and transform that as you go. Because if you're doing it the right way and you're going after the things that you know that you're passionate about and that you have purpose for, and you're working towards every single day and showing up for you and showing up for those around you, I guarantee you're going to exceed that goal. And maybe it's not the goal that you envisioned, it's something that is going to create an opportunity that is even greater for you. I can tell you, as I'm wrapping up 2024 and kind of doing my plans for 2025 and talking to collaborative partners that I have, and we're working through things and we're thinking about what our goals are and maybe what did we miss in 2024. It's never really a miss. And maybe we didn't hit like numeric or metric driven type of goals, but what we created during that time period was much greater than what a metric could be. And it provides us a foundation, it provides us a platform to build on that is even bigger, that's even stronger, and it can take us even farther. And you don't know what those are until you get to that point. So don't think or believe, and then also don't get mad and don't get frustrated. It's okay. So as you're going into this new year, as you're planning, if you haven't already, which is okay, because you can show up and do it tomorrow. It's no big deal. Let yourself off the hook. Give yourself some grace, because you can show up and do it different tomorrow. It can be that simple. And as you continue to do that and you stay consistent, and then you can plan 3 months out and 4 months out and 6 months out, you'll start to build that circle and that cycle for you. And then you're going to hit those times of busyness. And then you're going to also have that release, right? Many episodes back, we're talking about tension and release in your business. This is just another one of those tension moments where you have the opportunity to have that release, and you're going to feel it physically and mentally, because you are going to sit back and just legitimately take a breath. So as you're going into this new year, happy new year for one. I hope you have an amazing, killer, fruitful, whatever fruitful means to you, 2025, or whatever year we're in now. Have a fruitful year. I'm super excited for what I have going into this next year. And there's already momentum and there's already energy and force behind what that is going to be. And I'm just super excited for it. So hopefully you've been following along. I appreciate you. If you are, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe and do all those things. If you're listening to this on your favorite audio platform, please do me a favor, leave a 5-star review, because it helps more people just like you who are awesome find this podcast as well. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on my journey with me, and I'll see you down the road.
Thanks for cruising with me on this episode of Rhythm of the Road. Remember, the journey itself is the destination. Until next time, keep the rhythm flowing, and we'll see you down the road.